Today we are going to see important questions from Audit and Auditors chapter. First question: procedure for appointing first auditors if not appointed by the board of directors. Now, first auditor of a non-government company has to be appointed within 30 days of incorporation. Okay, so within 30 days of incorporation, who has to appoint? Board of directors has to appoint. If the board of directors fails, they have to intimate the shareholders. Okay, once they intimated the shareholder within 90 days of incorporation has to appoint the first auditors. Okay, in case of government company, first after incorporation within 60 days, it should be offer is given to the first C&AG. If C&AG fails, then next 30 days board of directors, that is after the 60th day board of directors. If board of directors fails, they have to intimate the shareholders, and shareholders within 60 days from the failure of C&AG has to appoint the first auditors. Resignation of auditors, what should the board do? In case resignation, the board has to appoint within 30 days another auditors, and it should be ratified by shareholders within 3 months. Government institution holds 30% shares in the company. Is there any need to pass special resolution in appointing auditors? No. Auditors always ordinary resolution. There is no need of special resolution. Auditor want to resign. What is the procedure for the auditor? Auditor has to give a resignation letter to the board of directors, and he has to file form ADT 3 to ROC along with reasons. That's all. Wife of auditor hold shares of 1 lakh rupees face value in the company. Can the auditor be the auditor of the company? Yes. The relatives of the auditor can hold share up to 1 lakh rupees in the company in which he is doing audit, but the relatives cannot hold shares in holding company or subsidiary company of the company in which he is doing audit. Procedure for removal of first auditor. If you want to remove the first auditor, point number 1, the same procedure you should follow for removal of the subsequent auditor. So there is no difference between subsequent auditor and the first auditor. The auditor who is appointed by the board of directors, the auditor who appointed in the general meeting, there is no difference. So first, board of directors has to pass a board resolution. Before that, there should be some special notice from the members to company. So after getting the special notice from the members, you have to pass a board resolution. Then after board resolution within 30 days, you have to inform central government. Then central government will take time to approve it. That form has to be like form ADT 2 has to be submitted to central government from the board of directors. Then once the central government says okay, then within 60 days you have to conduct EGM. In that notice you have to given, and the auditor should also give an opportunity of being heard. In case if he is not abusing the position, he can give a representation letter that should be circulated to the shareholders. In case if he is abusing the position, they can go to, the company has to go to NCLT and get it exempted from circulation. Then in EGM you have to pass special resolution and remove the auditors. Once the auditor got removed, the vacancy is getting created. That can be filled either by the shareholders or by the board of directors. Cash vacancy. In case the board is filling the cash vacancy, then it should be ratified again within 3 months from the shareholders. Is there any exclusion from the ceiling limit from the audit assignments? Yes, there are some exclusion. So 1% company, dormant company, and a private limited company having paid up capital less than 100 crores, these are exempted. A firm having 2 partners holding 41 private limited company audit, all less than 5 lakh rupees equity. So is the ceiling limit is attracted. Now the thing is, private company having paid up capital less than 100 crores, the ceiling limit should not be counted. So any number of private limited company they can do audit. Management overstated the inventories. Auditor cannot able to find the inventories overstated even after applying audit procedures. See, even after applying audit procedure, if the auditor cannot find it, then there is no problem from the auditor's side. So you can say we have applied proper due diligence, we have conducted our audit in accordance to section 143, so we are not responsible for this. But if it is very obvious that we could have done by doing audit procedures, then you are responsible. Auditor denies signing the audit report before being approved by the board of directors. So auditor denied signing the audit report. before being approved by the board of directors. Yes, the auditors are correct. You can say section 145 is there, sir, auditor has to sign the audit report. But when first board of directors has to sign the financial statements, okay, and they have to give to the auditor, then auditor has to see audit and then sign financial statement, then only he will give audit report. So first the board has to sign financial statements. Then security held by a relative of auditor of value more than 2 lakh rupees, is there any violation? Yes. If the relative of the auditors is holding securities worth of more than 1 lakh rupees face value in the company, then within 60 days they have to sell this from the date of becoming auditor. This person is becoming auditor, so else the auditor will be disqualified. What is the ceiling limit for auditors? I already told you. Ceiling limit is 20 company per auditor, but this does not include 1% company, dormant company, and private limited company having paid up capital less than 100 crores. What is the business connection? What are the exclusion? Business connection means any other connection the auditor is having other than professional relationship with the company, and exclusions are hotel, travel, hospital, telecommunication. These 4 are exclusion. This is given in section 144. Can a firm be appointed as an auditor where it can have a common partner with the earlier audit firm? See, that means in the rotation time, these 2 firms, can there be any common partner after in the cooling period? I can see, for example, XYZ and Co is there, then ABX and Co is there. In both the firm, X is common partner. In the cooling period of XYZ, ABX has been appointed. The thing is whether you can appoint this firm. Answer is yes, you can appoint the firm provided X is not signing partner in both the firm. So X is a partner, but he is not a signing partner. You can interpret like this because it's there in rule 6. Prohibited services of the auditors. See, if you are a statutory audit of the company, you should not do the following services like bookkeeping, accounting, internal audit, management consultant services, implementation of information system, then banking advisory, investment advisory, actuarial services. These are the things you should not do as a statutory auditor. If you are a statutory auditor, you should not do it for your clients, but you can do it separately. It's for some other clients. Okay. It is permitted under section 2 subsection 2 clause 4 of Charter Accounts Act 1949. Penalty for providing prohibited services. So you have to see the penalties. Penalties are given under section 147. Auditor's penalty is 50,000 to 5 lakhs. Okay, and in case 25,000 to 5 lakhs. 25,000 to 5 lakhs. In case willingly is doing 50,000 to 25 lakhs and 1 year imprisonment. Then can the board of directors appoint first auditors of the company? Can a board appoint first auditor? Yes, actually it's possible, but after waiting for 60 days, if C&AG failed, then board has to appoint within 30 days. Father-in-law of a director wants to be auditor of the company where daughter-in-law is a director. See, in-laws are not relatives under section 2 subsection 76 and 77 of the Companies Act. If I am a director, can I appoint my father-in-law as my auditor? So in-laws are not my relatives. Actually, this is possible for the appointment, but from the father-in-law's point of view, if you see that is that person is a chartered accountant, there is something called professional ethics. In that we have schedule 2 part 1 clause 4, where if you have substantial interest in a firm, you cannot be auditor of that company. As well as there is something called chapter number 4 of Central Council Guidelines 2008. In that also it's not possible. So how to prove that there is a relationship? From the father-in-law point of view, son's wife, okay, in this question, or daughter's husband, both are relatives. So from their point of view, they are relatives. Okay, from director's point of view, the auditor may not be relatives. From the auditor's point of view, the director is a relative. So it's a wonderful question actually. So it will be disqualified under section 141. Exempted companies from cost audit. Cost audit, which are all companies got exempted from cost audit. Cost audit exemption section 148 and read with the rules, companies cost audit rules 2014. In that SEZ companies, then companies where 75% of the turnovers are from export, or companies which generate electricity but they are using for captive consumption, these three are exempted. Then the next question is contents of audit report in case the company finds fraud. In case company finds fraud under section 143 subsection 12 of the Companies Act, the audit report should have a point of fraud, and in case if it is less than a crore, they have to just intimate the management and report the audit report. And also CARO, you have clause number 10 of CARO 2016, which is fraud reporting. Then in case a company is having more than 1 crore rupees of fraud, you have to report to central government in form ADT4 also. Appointing first auditor of a government company. Government company I told you already, so I am skipping this question. Then MD of the company wants to appoint his close friend as an auditor. Okay, so what is wrong here? MD wants to appoint auditor who is a close friend, is not relative. So many people think that they can appoint. The problem here is the person who's appointing is going to be MD. So if MD is appointing, then it's wrong. You should say board of director wants to appoint, or you can say board of director proposes to appoint. So in case if it's a subsequent auditors, even though he's a close friend of MD, he is not a relative. So he can be appointed through board recommending, and the shareholders have to appoint in general meeting. Firm got appointed as an auditor. One of the partner of the firm is working as a company secretary in the company. See, if you are going to work as a company secretary, none of your partners can be appointed as an auditor of the company. And the firm also disqualified under section 141. Auditor is of unsound mind. Can we appoint him as an auditor? No, you cannot. Private limited company having turnover of 200 crores, whether audit committee has to recommend the auditors. Private limited company having turnover of more than equal to or more than 100 crores, they need to have audit committee. Audit committee should always recommend the auditors to the board of directors, but board has an option to accept or reject. If they reject, again audit committee has to give another recommendation. Again, if the board rejects, then the board can recommend on their own to the shareholders, and shareholders have to appoint the auditors. But the board has to give the reasons for rejecting the recommendations of the audit committee under section 134 in the board report. The next question, company having borrowings of 51 crores, whether rotation of auditor is mandatory. Rotation of auditors, 139 subsection 2 I guess. Rotation of auditor when it is applicable. In case of listed company mandatory, public company having paid up capital 10 crores or borrowings 50 crores, and private limited company having paid up capital 50 crores or borrowings 50 crores or more. So 50 crores or more is equal to or more. Generally borrowings will have exceeding kind of, but in this question, in this provision, it is equal to or more borrowings. So in this question, it is 51 crores, hence rotation of auditors is mandatory even for a private limited company. Then whether rotation is applicable to small company. Small company will be having turnover also very less, and paid up capital also very less. Turnover is less than or equal to 2 crores and paid up capital is less than or equal to 50 lakhs. But actually in rotation condition, it is not turnover, actually it is borrowings. Small company, generally they will have turnover of less than 2 crores, so no one will give borrowings of banks and finance institution of more than 50 crores. So hence we can assume small companies also rotation is not applicable. Private company having exactly borrowings of 50 crores, whether rotation is applicable? No, it's not applicable, because it is more than 50 crores. Sorry. Private limited company having 50 crores or more borrowings, rotation is applicable. Can board appoint a firm of auditor continuously for a period of 10 years? Because a firm of auditors it is. So the board decides why to appoint 5 years, then reappoint for another 5 years. Let us appoint directly for a period of 10 years. Answer is you cannot do this. Okay, you have to appoint 5 years and you have to reappoint for next 5 years. So you should give option to the shareholders. Can a company request rotation of partners of the same audit firm? See, rotation of partners within the same audit firm is possible if shareholder decides. This is there in section 139 itself. The firm got reconstituted because of admission or retirement of partners. That it amounts to dissolution of the firm. Answer is no, does not amount to. I have seen, practically seen, because where the firm where I did articles, one partner died, but this is nothing to do with reappointment of new firm or anything like that. The company is appointed the firm only. The firm will not be dissolved because of the death or appointment of one more partner in that. See, dissolution of partnership is different from dissolution of firm. I think you know, this is in CPT portion. Firm having two partners, they have 36 public company. Now they got 7 private limited company, and one of them having paid up capital of 150 crores. See, 2 partners means 20 plus 20 audits they can do. That means 20 public company plus 20 public company audit, or a private limited company having paid up capital of more than 100 crores, it should be counted as 1. So in this question, imagine they have already 36 company audits, which is already counted as public. So another 4 audits they can take. That 4 can be 4 public companies or private companies having paid up capital more than 100 crores. So in this question, they have appointed in 7 private limited companies, out of which 1 is more than 100 crores paid up capital. So that 1 will be counted. So 36 plus 1. So still 3 more public limited companies or private limited companies having more than 100 crores paid up capital they can have. Then one CA is indebted to the company of rupees 10 lakhs. Knowing that he will be appointed as auditor, he settled all his dues. What to do? See, before appointing, if the auditor settled all the dues, then he will not be liable, because the maximum debt the firm, partners, relatives put together can have with the company is 5 lakh rupees. So if we can settle and bring it down to less than 5 lakh rupees, then they can get appointed. There is one hospital. Okay, the hospital appointed one auditor. He suffered from heart attack and he stayed in the hospital admitted in the hospital for treatment, and the bill is 6 lakh rupees. Is it possible? Can he continue as an auditor? The answer is, see, the question they are talking about 2 things. One is business connection. Another one is indebtedness of more than 5 lakh rupees. So you have to read together this. Business connection, hospital admission is not counted as business connection, so you can get admitted in the hospital. Point number 2, indebtedness is more than 5 lakh rupees. So in this question it is 6 lakh rupees bill. See, if he is going to settle the bill immediately, then there is no indebtedness. Only if there is a credit period allowed, then it's called indebtedness. He settled, imagine he settled after a week's time. If it is an ordinary course of business, the hospital is giving this 1 week time, then no issue. Otherwise it's an issue. Auditor appointed by the company. The company appoints the auditor. After appointment, the auditor rejects the appointment. He don't accept the appointment. What it is about? See, this question is about actually resignation of auditors, because before appointing the auditors, they will first get the consent letter and declaration letter from the auditor. After that only the auditor is getting appointed. So he has given consent and declaration. Now he is withdrawing. That means he is resigning. So he has to follow resignation procedure. Board restricted the auditor to attend general meeting, saying only when adoption of accounts is getting carried, you will be given invitation to attend general meeting. Is it right? See, board has to give notice for general meeting to auditors whether or not adoption of accounts is there. So all general meeting, it is a right of the auditor to receive the notice. So even if you studied in the preliminary chapters, auditor is having the right to get a notice of general meeting, and it is duty of the company. So there will be a question in IPC. Who are all is required to be sent the notice of general meeting? In that they will be saying directors, legal representative of the shareholders, then auditors also included there, then trustees, etc. So auditor has to get the notice of general meeting, and it is duty of the auditor to attend annual general meeting mandatorily. Other general meeting he can go or he may not go, but annual general meeting he has to mandatorily attend. Whether he has to go or he has to send one authorized representatives who is a chartered accountant. 3 branches of the company. There are 3 branches in the company, and one of the branches is not getting audited because the turnover is very less in that branch. See, as per section 143, all the branch has to get audited, so nothing to do with the turnover. Then five points to be stated in the audit report. First, audit report whether the financial statements are prepared as per their schedule 3, whether the financial statement complied with standards on audit, accounting standards. Then whether any director got disqualified under section 164. Adequate provisioning has been made for long-term and derivative contracts. Adequate provision has been made for litigation or any other losses. Then whether any amount to be transferred to IEPF, whether it is transferred, and whether the complaints of laws and regulations has been there. All those points you can write, and CARO you can mention. Then in case IFCFR is applicable, then IFCFR also. Practicing CA is indebted to B Limited, which is in telecom, indebted for rupees 2 lakhs. Practicing CA is also indebted to A Limited for rupees 3 lakhs. Okay, the wife of the auditor indebted to A Limited of rupees 3 lakhs. A Limited is a subsidiary of B Limited, so you should read. There is one holding company and subsidiary company. Auditor is indebted to the holding company. Wife is indebted to the holding company as well as subsidiary company. Now you should add all those indebtedness put together. If it exceeds 5 lakh rupees, then they are disqualified. Now with this we completed important question from Auditor chapter. Okay, you can write the test now.